And naturally the smoke keeps changing directions. I'm not going to keep moving the camera. So, good morning, folks. How's everyone doing? This is part 2. You guys watched the first one, you're checking this one out. Thanks, I appreciate it. If you're checking this one out first, go check out the first one. It wasn't too bad. A lot of dodging raindrops. I missed the... two things I wish I got on camera yesterday was that bear. That was kind of cool. And that lightning storm that we had. Holy cow. But oh well. So, it's probably going for 10. I did do a little bit of fishing this morning, just out where I was last night. To no avail, I didn't catch anything. In fact, I lost both my hooks. So, whatever. But, and I wish this wind would make up its mind about which way it was going. Because when I was setting this up just now, I had the camera over here, and then the smoke would go over here. I had put the camera over here, and now the smoke's over here. I'm just gonna go with it, bro. So, if the smoke's bugging you, my apologies. But I got some bannock here made. Yeah, I did a video on the recipe that I like. It involves you throwing some honey and stuff into it. It's pretty good. So that's another video you guys can go check out if this is your first time tuning in. Or if you just haven't seen that video before. So this is all mixed up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. But I don't know, it's probably 10 o'clock in the morning. I slept in a little bit. I slept in until probably, I don't know, 8 o'clock, just before 8. It was cold this morning. Threw on my long sleeve. But, so, with all the little bit of fishing and whatnot I did, getting a little late start to breakfast, which is fine. I'm not one of those guys who eats breakfast as soon as he wakes up. But, grab some, boom. See that? Mountain House. It's a breakfast skill. I haven't had one of these in a while. So I bought a couple of them for the trip. And I know this is a good one. This is potatoes, eggs, sausage, peppers, and onions. So should be good. I know my my Bannock's burning. Ooh. Alright, crisis averted. Come on, get back up in there. But, yeah. Anyways, that crisis is averted. I got my water boiling on the fire here, too. Yes, I'll give you guys a look at my setup. But, there we have it. Stick for the Bannock. Just a little wide stick with a notch cut in the hanger right there. Hold my pot over the fire, and that's actually, the water's good to go. I can add that to my stuff anytime. I'll add it in a couple minutes because that takes 10 minutes to sit. Give it 10 minutes or so when you put it in the Mountain House package. But yeah, got a couple fishing poles. There's my tackle box. Just a little tackle box I can throw in my pack. Well, I don't know. Looks like I might have to clean my lens too a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna get some breakfast and I'll probably put the canoe back in the water, and we'll go get to doing a little fishing. So I'll see you guys when we put the boat in the water. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's time to get a little fishing in. Take a walk down by the canoe. Got my poles all rigged up and everything. Got my breakfast in me. I feel pretty good. So let's get over here. I got myself backed into a little cove here on the river. I'm going to see if I can see what we got going on here. All right, fish on. Where we at? Ooh, got one. This one isn't a sucker. Ooh. Yeah, maybe I snagged. Oh well. I felt like it was fighting. And the Meps, this thing usually doesn't grab the bottom. I don't know. Tell me. Maybe I just caught in a weed bed. Son of a gun. There, let me get my canoe back situated. I didn't bring an anchor with me. I don't like using an anchor with a canoe anyways. I mean, not that it would be too big of a deal on this river, but just the same. They're a pain to operate by yourself. Because ideally, I'd want it at one end or the other, not off to the side. If you have it at one end, well, when you're paddling solo, you're typically in the center of the canoe. Get myself backed in here. Yeah, so you don't want the anchor to be tied to the side of your boat. That's not cool. So there. Try this again. Boy, I thought I had one. I mean, I am paddling or reeling it in kind of slow, so I must have just grazed something on the bottom and got caught. The sunlight's out right now. Hopefully that sun will reflect off the yellow and black contrast there that the Meps has. So I think we're gonna paddle back for a little while. Maybe grab a snack or something. And I forgot my all my spare hooks. So all I have is lures, and I wanted to keep something out here with just a worm on it. Then I'm gonna eat suckers. But in case there's anything else hitting off the bottom, let a worm sit out there for a little while. But I can't do that. I do have jigs, but I'm gonna head back for a little bit. I might come back out later this afternoon, because right now we're heading into midday. I've been out here probably an hour and a half. So I'll let that sun start going down. Maybe I'll go back, grab a little firewood or something. I don't know. Enjoy the weather, because this is actually turning out to be a pretty decent day. This morning it was cold and windy and cloudy, but now it's just partly cloudy. It's still chilly. There's a breeze, but it ain't that bad. Back to camp. I'm just gonna grab a snack. Maybe do a little fishing actually over here. Just from shore, kick my boots off for a minute. Relax, enjoy the nice weather. Rather than fight the current with the canoe. Getting caught and getting snagged on bushes and whatnot. See if we can catch something besides a sucker. Alright, got a fish with the hobo hand line. This ought to be cool. I think I got one. Oh, there are trout in here. Sweet. See? Yay, there are trout in this freaking river. Well, got something else here. Thought I seen my line moving. And look at that. Big old crayfish. He doesn't even care that I pulled him out of the water. He's just mowing on my worm. I don't know what you think. Might be able to use him as bait. Where'd it go? Come on, let go. Oh, you're fine. There you go. See? I don't know. I'll probably let him go. I don't see the brook trout eating him. It's kind of big. Maybe I'll use him as bait. I'll keep him around for a minute. I gotta rebait this though. Alright, yeah. So here we go. Got another crayfish. He's gonna beat my camera with that stick. So, I'm glad I did save the other one. These are big enough. I'm actually going to eat these with that brook trout. I think it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so I got that one brookie. I got 2 crayfish. It's a good start for dinner. I still got my lines in. So I think while my lines are in the water doing their thing, I think I'm going to start my fire. Let's get that going. So that way, when I'm ready to eat, I can just get ready and cook. You know, not like last night when I got here, you know, all that shit. Alright, folks. So I did a little more fishing. I didn't get any fish. I did catch another crayfish. So here's the spread for tonight for chow. We have alright, we have Mr. Brook Trout cooking up right there. Got another bannock going. And 3, where are they? Right in there. 3 big old crayfish. Well, the 2 are like normal sized. Yeah, and one of those crayfish is like huge. So, I don't know, it's not the biggest one I've ever seen, but it's pretty big. I don't know, like 4 inches long, big giant freaking claws. It was the last one I caught. So I caught those 3 plus the brookie. Some bannock. Oh yeah, I got some trail mix. It's honey roasted walnuts with blueberry. And that would actually, I got some more. I got a little bit more. I didn't use that whole bag of bannock, so maybe I'll make another little batch of bannock for dessert. 5-course meal out here, 3-course, something like that. We're eating good. I wish I had a couple more trout. And as it is, the one I got was barely legal. And I wasn't gonna I wasn't going to eat that sucker. I mean, if I was hungry and I didn't have any food, like if I just came out here to survive, like survival, oh, hell yeah. I would eat that in a heartbeat. That would be tonight's dinner and then some, to say the least. I mean, that thing had to weigh good 4 or 5 freaking pounds. It was a monster. I thought I was snagged at first, didn't put up a fight. And then I'm like, oh, cool, I seen the brown. So I was like, I was thinking brown trout, you know? And then as I got it up close out of the water, I was like, oh, man, this is some kind of freaking carp. And I pulled it out, and I was like, oh, it's a sucker. Wah, wah, wah. What a sucker. But needless to say, we're not going hungry, so I do like that. I mean, I brought food anyways, but I didn't bring, you know, you plan out your meals. You know, you go on a camping trip or a trip like this, you plan out your meals and know what you're going to want to eat, because you don't want to really overpack by a lot, and you don't want to underpack. So I purposely packed like a meal and a half less, you know, so for me to not go hungry, I'm going to have to eat some, you know, catch something to eat. So, and I did, so life's good. Alrighty, chow time. I'm not going to eat at camp. I'm going to eat at the little spot I was fishing. I kind of like that spot. It's real chill down by the water. Good chance we'll see some wildlife or something too. This is about time of day it was. Maybe a little later when that bear came by. Seen a loon come flying by a little while ago. Even if I had the camera out, I wouldn't have gotten a picture of him. He was sailing. But here's the spread. Check this out. And there it is. Little ubu ale. We got our crayfish, brookie, some bannock, and I threw in the blueberries and, oh yeah, they're not walnuts, they're pecans. But anyways, I threw some of that in the bannock. So this ought to be tasty. I'm hoping it is. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be freaking delicious. Eating good out here, folks. Well, I suppose underneath this old hemlock's as good a spot to eat as any. Bannock's not bad. Mr. Trout looks tasty. That's good. Hey, here, best way to eat crayfish. Take it. Break open the tail just like you do a lobster, except for it's just way smaller. Usually they pull right out of their shell. Some of the crayfish funk. There we go. Pull up the little poop vein. We do have a poop vein just like shrimp. And it tastes a lot like shrimp. I usually don't bother eating crayfish because it's so much work for that little bit of meat. But there you have it. all in all, this ain't a bad river to fish by any means. I mean, if the water was a little colder, if I was a few weeks earlier, I don't know. I bet you the trout be hitting even better. I mean, I'm definitely not a pro angler by any means, so get that thought out of your head. I just like to go out in the water, drown a few worms, catch a couple fish. Try not to get too out of hand with fishing. So, I had 2 sets of kayakers come through. And, yeah, apparently right across the river from where my camp is, where the cable is, that's the portage to go around those rapids. And they're little kayaks. They went down in nice. I still wouldn't take that old. It's an old wooden fiberglass canoe. I'm not going to take that across down there. That's crazy. But they're like, are the black flies eating you alive? Oh no, why? Because they're bad on the portage. I'm like, oh. It says they need to run a chainsaw through there. I'm going to hold the DEC. Tell you what, if I worked for DEC and my assignment for the day was paddle down this river with a chainsaw and clear out a canoe carry, hell yeah, dude. Heck, I'd do that for free. You know, for those guys, that's just a fun day out. They get to hang out and instead of go around bust people's chops about fishing, go out and do something constructive. This one's off. Oop, there it is. Pew. Just like the shrimp. It does taste similar to shrimp too, but crayfish are crawdads if you're down south or wherever. They, well, they're a lot like shrimp, but they're more fishy tasting. I love how the meat just peels right off the bones. I'm gonna try a few more of these. But take what I can get. I ain't gonna complain. I didn't get skunked. You know, I caught that. That sucker was enormous. So even if this was survival, heck, I'd be eating good off just that. And I was looking around, there's plenty of wild edibles too. The fiddleheads up here aren't completely done yet. I found a few fiddleheads, I just left them. I wasn't going to cook them up. I don't have any butter. I do have garlic, but because they're really good with butter and garlic. Most things are good with butter and garlic, ain't they? Chaga. I know the chaga's out of season, but I'm half tempted to knock a piece off. I've seen a few big pieces of chaga on different trees, like right next to my camp. A couple of big pieces. And if you ever do find chaga, like, don't pick it this time of year. Wait until right after the trees go dormant. I mean, if you just want the flavor, you know, have a good taste of it, yeah, go ahead and pick it now, because I mean, I might knock off a little piece. But if you're picking it or eating it for or making tea or coffee, whatever out of it, for medicinal purposes, it ain't gonna do you any good this time of year. It doesn't have all the antioxidants and stuff like that from the tree in it. Well, I say from the tree, but I'm not 100% certain how it does it. But it's really good. It's a real earthy, coffee-ish kind of drink. So I'll probably knock off a piece of that there's a piece probably 20 yards to my left over here, and it's nice. Two of the big pieces of chaga I found are actually almost within arm's reach, because it never fails. Anytime I found chaga, I'm usually climbing a tree with my hatchet to get it. Usually I bring a ladder, but most chaga is pretty deep in the woods. You're not going to bring a ladder. You're better off making one. But it wasn't a bad little meal. Oh yeah, I mentioned those kayakers earlier. Yeah, they're like, oh, the black flies aren't eating you alive? They're all just sitting right here on the shore fishing. Well, no, they're not bothering me at all, ma'am. I told them I treat my clothes with permethrin. They'll fly around me, the black flies will, but not too many of them land on me. I mean, you get the occasional black fly, but it's not like going out here with nothing. If you went out here with nothing and tried to camp out this time of year, middle of May, it's bad. It's very bad. Because basically we have 3 seasons here. We've got winter, fall, and black fly season. Like spring and summer are pretty much black flies. And the earliest in the summer, because then it turns right into winter. Well, fall for like a couple weeks. And then it's snowing. But the black flies, like the way they're buzzing around me, they're definitely intense. Every once in a while I have one buzz right into my eyeball. I think I swallowed like 2 in the past like 2 days, since I've been out here, which isn't bad, because typically I'd say swallowing 2 an hour isn't out of the realm of possibility. And check it out. Look at this. There's some of that black gold chaga. And like I said, if you're doing it for medicinal purposes, chaga this time of year ain't gonna do the trick for you. But if you're just doing it for, I want some coffee. Whoa, I have to keep lifting my tripod up over all the underbrush. But yeah. Basically, I'm going to add some of this to my pine needle. I got some pine needle tea I'm going to be cooking here in a second, too. Here, check it out. Alright, and there you go. It's actually not pine needle tea. It's going to be some of that spruce sitting under. Grab some of the shoots from that. So grab that, some chaga, and we're going to make some tea. And, never mind. I'll show you guys how to do it. Alright, what we have here, this is hot water. It's been sitting next to the fire for a few minutes, and that fire is cooking. So, throw in some chaga. That big piece I'm going to save. I might take that for morning. For morning coffee. Alright. Now, this here, I'm going to put that back by the fire so we can steep and stay warm, basically. I'm not going to, if it boils, that's cool. I'm not worried about it boiling, or if it does or doesn't. I'm going to take this, set it back by the fire. Alright. This here, this is a raging inferno inside there. So basically all I really need to do is put it next to it. It's going to get hot. Like, that's hot right there. Alright, and we're back. I spilled it. And you can see it's all wet through here. Yeah, I spilled it. And the words that came out of my mouth when I spilled it weren't, shouldn't be heard by anybody. They were very profane. I was a little upset. But anyways, that's taken care of. So let that get back to cooking. The rest of that chaga that I got over there, I'm going to leave that be. Like I said, I'll probably have that in the morning. You know, instead of coffee. Get a nice hot cup of chaga. So anyways, when I spilled it, I didn't lose. I only lost like 4 or 5 pieces of hemlock, and I didn't lose any chaga, so it wasn't that big a deal. It just caught me off guard, so I had to swear and curse for a second. Anyways, I'm going to let that do its thing, and get back to you when we pour. Well, this ain't a bad spot to sit and chill. That fly's bugging me. Boy, all in all, hasn't been too bad of a trip. Nice to kind of finish the day. Let's see. Hemlock and chaga. I added honey to it too. It's got that sweet, tangy flavor. It's pretty good. It's still slightly warm. Can't believe I'm 40. Holy cow. Well, yeah, happy birthday to me. It's a pretty view right over there, isn't it? You know, if I sat here long enough, I'd see some kind of wildlife. That was kind of cool. Mr. Beaver just cruising along. I didn't want to say anything while he's going by. I wanted to slap his tail and freaking, you know, take off up the river. So he just moseyed his way up. I'm just down here casting a couple lines before dark. Getting some nibbles, but they're just little, either little brookies or minnows or something. Nothing really big hitting. Figured that bear'd come back along, especially with the smell of fish and everything else. I was eating crayfish earlier. I figured he'd be along, but I haven't seen him yet. But if I do, I'll turn the camera back on. Hey, can you guys see me? Look at that. Caught another little trout. Oh. Alright, my battery's about ready to die. I gotta swap out batteries. But yeah, check it. Another little trout. well, had a little more luck fishing. I got 2 more brookies. I got them like right before dark. So, just letting them cook up. And, I don't know, I'm probably going to eat those and turn in for the night. If you guys haven't checked out the first video to this, check that out. That was basically paddling in and, doing a little bit of fishing, dodging raindrops. Yeah, it rained a lot yesterday. And, there's a heck of a thunderstorm. I don't know if I got much of that on video, but I don't know. Check that out, and definitely stay tuned. The part 3 to this, which will be tomorrow, that'll be out next week. So if you haven't subscribed, if you like what you see and everything, hey, throw down a subscription, throw down a like, comment. Yeah. I know I'm still kind of hungry, so I'm going to eat up these trout and probably hit the sack here in a minute. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and you guys have a good one.